souls. Welcome and welcome back to Beautiful Daughters 99. The verses I have here for you today are from Romans 12:2 from the NIV, Mark 8:36 from the NIV, and of course 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verses 19 through 20 from the CEB. Okay, so I'm going to go in just like in that order. From Romans, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. From Mark, what good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? And 1 Corinthians, or don't you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you? Don't you know that you have... My screen went away. Don't you know that you have the Holy Spirit from God and you don't belong to yourselves? You've been bought and paid for, so honor God with your body. So, Romans and Mark, they're talking like, don't conform to the pattern of the world. Don't, like, sell your soul. And 1 Corinthians, of course, like... honor your body, take care of your body. God made that body, and like the Holy Spirit literally dwells in our bodies, so like it's important to take care of our bodies. And so those verses are all going to be important to gathered around what I'm going to be talking about today. If you grab a random Vogue magazine from a stack of them and grab another, just completely randomly, you're likely just going to find that, the model is skinny and tall and whatever else. And, when you watch a teen drama movie, the mean blonde girl is the popular girl. And also, in real life, you're then finding yourself refusing to eat your dinner for fear of becoming fat. Great. And so the typical thing that is pushed, like I have talked about before, is, be super skinny and also like be tall a lot of the time, but like yet also be petite and have curves, but like be skinny all at the same time, all at once. And all these stereotypes for people who do look like that are placed within this. And it makes it really hard because everything around you is like, oh, like, I have to be skinny, so I have to diet and, like, work so hard and exercise and pretty much completely destroy yourself so that you can maybe have a chance of looking like how the models look, because that's how the perfect woman looks. But that's really not true. If you know anything about what I've been talking to you about already, I'm always going to say that that is not true. And I am also going to say that people who look like that are also beautiful. And it's just super crazy. Like, it's just the media pushes and pushes and pushes for everybody to look like this. And if you keep doing all these things like dieting and exercising way too intense and just completely going wild with everything possible, then you're gonna get really sick, and that's not good. And I don't know about all models or actresses, but there are a lot of stories about something like they get really sick or they have some of these like diseases, like because they've become like so underweight and they themselves like have been pushed or just pushed themselves to be this skinny and in this like perfect body. And I don't really think that that's a good idea. yeah, it's just generally not a good idea to be like, I'm gonna go do this thing that's gonna make me sick. And that's probably not the thought process behind it. I know that's not the thought process behind it. The thought process is, I want to be beautiful. But what you need to know, and what those people need to know, is that you are already beautiful because you're created in the image of God. In most body image cases that I've heard of, or that I myself have dealt with, it's mainly that someone feels fat and they want to be skinnier. Someone maybe is overweight and they want to go to a point where they think is healthy, but depending on their structure or height, things we've talked about before, it could actually be what they're looking at is an unhealthy place to be underweight and just going from one side over here all the way to the other end. And that's not the case for everyone, but that has been the case. Like for me, I've wanted to not be fat because I think I'm fat for some reason. I don't really much anymore, but that has been a struggle of mine, and I'm sure that some of you watching, that has been the similar struggle with you as well. And that is super hard when the media is pushing be skinny, be skinny, be skinny. But I do want to talk about how I do also know a couple people and have seen a few things where people who are skinny also have struggles with body image, and they don't feel beautiful. They, on one hand, might also be like, well, even though I'm skinnier than some people, I still have to get even skinnier. Or they could also be like, I feel so insecure about being so skinny and I want to add some weight, and they have struggles for adding weight on. And, I don't think that every tall blonde in your high school is mean and cruel and the popular girl. And I don't think that all the popular girls are mean and cruel. And that is, the stereotypes also are harmful to the people that we look up to as the most beautiful people in the world, because they are then stereotyped as these mean people that boss everybody else who's not beautiful and perfect around. And I'm absolutely 100% positive that that is not how all people who look like that are. There are, of course, people who look all sorts of ways that can be just such good, kind people, and there can be people that look all sorts of different ways that are really cruel and nasty people. And what you look like on the outside makes no difference whether you are skinny or big or whatever in between, or whether you have a pimple above your right temple or some crazy thing like that. It makes no difference. What matters is that on the inside, the character of your heart is kind and good and beautiful, and that outwardly shows your true beauty. We are not called to conform to the pattern of the world. We are called to do the opposite. And it is not good for us to be going after all of these unrealistic beauty standards. I mean, it's literally like people are getting sick from it sometimes. And it's not a good thing that people are trying to achieve. And I think that we moreover need to be in community with one another. Like, we're diverse people, and so we should be that. That's what we are, and we should be that together, unified under Christ. And that's really just the most important thing with being under Christ and serving God and being welcoming to each other and supportive of each other and endlessly loving Jesus and loving one another. And we should not be conforming to the standard where we have to push to the latest beauty trends and we have to do all these things to ourselves that are not healthy. It can be really destructive to our bodies with some of the absolutely crazy and intense things that would come about to try and look like other people. And it's not right for the world to be pushing those standards on anybody. But because they are, you should be made aware of how it can be harmful to try and achieve that. And most people can't even actually look like someone that they're not. I mean, we've talked about this in my videos, Intentionally Unique and the Comparison Game, the two last ones that I did. And we cannot become someone else that we're not, both in who God created us with, our mindset and how our personalities are, and also within how we look physically. And you should not be trying to go so much into all of these beauty standards that you are making yourself sick. And you should also not sneer down at people who do look like how the models or actresses do, because they are just as beautiful as you are, and we need to be lifting each other up and not destroying each other because we are angry that people look how the models and actresses do. Like, it's not fair to them that they've been stereotyped, and it's also not fair to us that we feel pressured to look certain ways. And so we should not be bashing heads. We should be coming together in community and, just living out our lives, not conforming to the pattern of the world, not conforming to those beauty standards, while also still seeing the value in people who do have the appearance of some of those beauty standards. That's the end of my video today. You can like and subscribe and comment, share, whatever you'd like to do. And just I don't know, keep that stuff in your mind. I hope that it was helpful. You can also feel free to contact me at my email, beautifuldaughters99@gmail.com, or you can go to my Instagram, which is beautifuldaughters99, and I will see you for another one soon. I'm thinking about doing some videos alongside these more in studio videos. So I don't have everything planned out for that, so don't take that as a promise, but just you could be looking out for that. And without further ado, I will say goodbye.